Chris, been a long time since Le Mans. Congratulations on the win. What have you guys been doing with so much free time?
First, thanks a lot for the congratulations. We have been quite busy, to be honest. Yes, there has been a break for everyone to take some rest as well. But obviously a lot of marketing to do after such a success. Lucky us, we got to do that. On the other side, there was preparation to be done to get the WEC cars ready. We completely newly built one of the cars because we have the privilege to send the winning Le Mans car into the museum, and therefore we're not going to use that anymore. Preparation for the freight, overseas freight went out early, then the air freight preparation WEC season. Parallel, we're ramping up next year's development of the car. First test items went out already. So it's a bit, in the development department was a success on our belt. I guess we can now ramp up the next year's development quite a bit.
Looking at how good the cars were at Le Mans, we're coming here to a downforce track in some sense. How much are you returning to your pre-Le Mans spec? How much did you work on something new for the rest of the season?
We always developed the car with two different aerodynamic configurations. We saw on Silverstone and on the 1 and 2 car in Spa, the high downforce configuration as we run it, the short tail. And then swapped on the third car already in Spa and on all 3 cars for Le Mans to the long tails. So we are back to the original configuration. Yes, a bit more development, but it's more about understanding, using the aero maps to its max has been done. But there are rarely any new parts. It's where we found there is maybe some weakness, something we could do better. Yes, that has been exchanged, some optimization going on, learning on the car, but really new development.
3 races come together fairly quickly with a brand new formula, a big fuel conservation formula. Now that you've had a lot of time to crunch data since Le Mans, what have you learned? Is it possible to go as hard as you want, or are you still here saving a lot of fuel?
No, it's for sure. It's still the formula about efficiency, and therefore fuel saving got to be a target. But I think the learning curve was quite steep, and we reached a very good plateau by now. Yes, when I said before, optimization has been done. We have a more automated system for the remainder of the WEC season now in the car to take a bit away from the workload of the drivers. That is development which has been planned like that in those steps and can be confirmed now.
Looking to next year, on top of developing, I guess, the next iteration of the R18, we've also seen the World Motorsports Council talk about wanting cost reductions, saving in other areas. How do you go into a new season wanting to develop a new car while knowing that you could have some new rules to work with?
Well, for me, I rather talk about cost efficiency. There's one thing to bring costs down, on the other side to get more out of the money you spend. So there are 2 ways of approaching it, and I like to do it the dual way. Yes, we got to see that, we got to make sure that the cost doesn't sky rise. On the other side, there's a lot to do to get more out of our product, more marketing-wise, better publicity. So there's 2 ways to approaching it. At the moment, yes, there are talks going on how we make sure that the cost doesn't rise any further. And there are small wheels to be turned. We have already the test restrictions confirmed for next day to limit them to 50 days. We're discussing tire limitation, things which shouldn't matter for final racing, shouldn't limit us in proper preparation, but at the end shouldn't rise any more costs.
Might be a strange question to ask to a manufacturer program, but is WEC P1 hybrid racing, is it too expensive? Are there concerns about being able to sustain this for long enough?
Too expensive would mean that it doesn't make sense for Audi to spend these budgets to run here. We are here. We have a confirmed program. Therefore, for us, it does pay off. But on the other hand side, we do realize that the competition gets harder. And therefore, we would like to be wise enough to foresee what might come up and try to freeze it to a level that everybody can afford.
Of the 3 P1H manufacturers, Audi has chosen the lowest level of hybrid energy storage per se. Is that something with more learning that you've taken from the first 3 races looking to next year? Are you evaluating possibly increasing that at all, or do you think you're at the right spot?
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be evaluated if you increase it, by how much you increase it. There is always development going on. That is part of LMP project. At the moment, we are limited because we came from a heavy diesel engine and couldn't put too much into the car. Now it's about evaluating how much effort you got to put into the complete package to make up that kind of amount that you would lead to grow into the next class, or and for sure that's evaluated, and deep numbers are run to see if that would be efficient for Audi or not.
Last question for you. You've got an amazing amount out of this chassis, and I know that this is brand new compared to the year before. A lot of development of the R18 with this type of architecture, the turbo diesel V6, etc. Do you think you'll reach a point where developing the car with the shape we see it now will reach its limit and we might see something that looks radically different, or do you think we'll see the shape for years to come?
That's hard to predict, because obviously we run wind tunnel models, and if we would find some magic points, for sure we want to have them in the car. That's hard to predict. For the moment, I think it's more a conservative approach that we'll take for next year, that we try to optimize the package we have, try to get the most out of it, tweak a bit here and there. I don't see a radical change for next year.